The two former players speak out about Djokovic's chances of becoming the most decorated male singles player in Grand Slam history. Novak Djokovic, photo by Chrysaline Caio, copyright at Sport Vision. Two former world number one players believe Novak Djokovic has the ability to break Roger Federer's record for most Grand Slam titles won in history. Newly appointed chairwoman of the USTA Foundation, Chris Evert, believes Djokovic has the ability to achieve the milestone following his resurgence on the tour. Since Wimbledon, the Serbian has won 21 consecutive matches in Grand Slam tournaments. Should he win the French Open later this year, he would be the champion of all four majors at the same time, something he has already achieved between 2015 and 2016. Djokovic was inhuman during the Australian Open. I've never seen anybody with that much mental focus, that much clarity and that much determination, Evert told the Tennis Channel. Even better than Rafael Nadal, who is also 100% great in those categories. If he has another great 2 or 3 years, I think he can pass them all. Grand Slam titles won, she added. Federer, who is 6 years older than Djokovic, currently holds the all-time record in the majors with 20 titles to his name, including a record 8 Wimbledon trophies. His last triumph at a major was in Melbourne in January 2018. Since then, Federer has failed to progress beyond the quarterfinal stage at any other Grand Slam. I'm a big Roger Federer fan, but I'm not as optimistic about Roger winning another Grand Slam, unless it is Wimbledon, Evert admitted. The points are shorter, power plays a big role and serving plays a big role. Backing Evert, Lindsay Davenport is another person who believes Djokovic can overtake Federer. Davenport won 55 titles during her career on the WTA Tour, including 3 at Grand Slam level. I think so. The other two, Federer and Nadal, has never held all 4 Grand Slams at the same time. Novak is 1 slam away from doing it twice, Davenport outlined. It's just unheard of that we have a player that are that good within the same era. What has Djokovic said? Speaking to reporters last month in Australia, the 31-year-old said breaking records is what motivates him in the sport. Shortly after his one-sided win over Nadal in the final at the Australian Open, Djokovic said he was focused on improving his game further. I am aware that making history of the sport that I truly love is something special. Of course, it motivates me. How many seasons are to come? I don't know. I'm not trying to think too much in advance, he said. I do want to definitely focus myself on continuing to improve my game and maintaining the overall well-being that I have, mental, physical, emotional, so I would be able to compete at such a high level for the years to come, and have a shot at eventually getting closer to Roger's record. It's still far. It isn't just the Federer record on his mind. According to coach Marian Vida, he is hoping to achieve a calendar Grand Slam one day, where a player win all 4 majors within the same season. The achievement is a rarity in men's tennis. In the Open era, it has only been achieved by Rod Laver back in 1969. Novak would like to win the calendar Grand Slam, to win all 4 of the biggest tournaments in the same year, Vida told Sport Club. When asked about emulating Laver one day, Djokovic was more coy about his aspirations. Well, I got to get Rod Laver in my team in order to achieve that, Djokovic said. It's the only one that has managed to do the impossible challenge, the ultimate challenge of tennis. We'll see. Most Grand Slam titles won, and only 1 Roger Federer 2-0, 2-0-0-3, 2-0-1-8, 6-1, 8-5-2 Rafael Nadal 1-7, 2-0-0-5, 2-0-1-8, 1-1-1, 2-3, 3 Novak Djokovic 1-5, 2-0-0-8, 2-0-1-9, 7-1, 4-3, 4 Pete Sampras 1-4, 1-9-9-0, 2-0-0-2, 2-0-7-5, 5 Roy Emerson 1-2, 1-9-6-1, 1-9-6-7, 6-2, 2-2, 6 Rod Godlover 11-1960-1969-3242 Bjorn Borg 11-1974-1981-0650-8 Bill Tilden 10-1920-1930-0037 Karolina Pliskova was affected by an exhausting Fed Cup weekend as she withdrew from this week's section in Doha. Karolina Pliskova, at Lines24 Twitter. Karolina Pliskova became the fifth withdrawal from the Qatar Total Open after picking up a viral illness in Doha. The former U.S. Open finalist expressed her disappointment at withdrawing from Doha as she explained that the exhausting Fed Cup weekend had taken its toll. After the defending champions lost 3-2 to Romania in Ostrava, Pliskova said that her match against Halep meant she ran out of energy in Doha. Already the day after Fed Cup, I felt after I played my match with Simona Halep, which was super long and tough, so I just felt somehow exhausting, Pliskova said in her press conference. From the first day, in Doha, I was not feeling great and not ready. I have never felt actually this way. It's normal that you are tired, of course, when you are traveling and playing a lot of matches. But I just feel somehow my body is not ready. The Czech Republican, who is a former champion in Doha, is the fifth withdrawal here after Caroline Wozniacki and Caroline Garcia are some of the other high-profile players to give Qatar a miss. After her latest setback and a week of disappointment, Pliskova will hope to get back to her Australian Open form when she plays Dubai next week. Svitolina and Bertens reach last 8. Meanwhile in the other action, both Elina Svitolina and Kiki Bertens earned good wins to reach the last 8 in Doha. The Ukrainian edges past unpredictable Latvian Yelena Ostapenko 6-4, 6-4 to reach the quarter-finals. The WTA Finals champion managed to break 5 as she made up for an average serving performance. Next up for Svitolina is Karolina Muchova after her straight sets win over the unconventional Su Wei-Shea. While Kiki Bertens also scored a very good 3-set win over Carla Suarez Navarro. Despite losing the first set 6-2, the Dutch woman only dropped 2 games as she sealed the quarterfinal meeting with Elise Mertens. How the American player is using social media to bring fans closer to tennis. Noah Rubin, image via https://twitter.com/Noah Rubin 33 closing parenthesis. Most people are familiar with the concept of Instagram. Members upload a bunch of appealing and entertaining photos with the objective of getting a mass amount of likes and publicity. But for world number 152 Noah Rubin, he is using the platform to show the reality of life as a tennis player. Earlier this year, the 22-year-old launched Behind the Racket on Instagram. His aim is to show both the highs and lows tennis players experience. In each picture is a person holding a tennis racket in front of their face. Attached to the photo is a paragraph detailing their thoughts. Topics include financial struggles, mental health, living up to family expectations and bereavement. To let down the people closest to me, my friends and family, is my most daunting fear. From an early age I was pretty aware about how many lives I affected. How many people had to sacrifice time, energy and money. The idea that it may not be worth it, or there might not be a way to repay them, haunts me at times. It's what will take me to that next level, or break me, but to impact the world you cannot let that happen and I won't, Noah wrote in his first post on January 19. Since the launch, numerous tennis players have gotten involved in the initiative as they shared their own personal story. They include Nicole Gibbs, Mitchell Kruger, Chris Eubanks, Jamie Loeb and Bjorn Fra Tongello. 5 stories from Behind the Racket. Nicole Gibbs on suffering from depression, Jamie Loeb coming to terms with her mother suffering from a stroke, Ernesto Escobedo on coping with a stutter, Bjorn Fra Tongello on the difficulties he experienced as a junior player, Marcos Gorin on his hip injury and coping with his parents' divorce. At the same time, the most recent post was from former Australian Open quarter-finalist Tennis Sandgren, who recounted the moment he discovered his father had died. My dad passed away in October of 2011. I had been pro for only about 3 months at this point. I received one of the worst phone calls anyone could ever get. I was at a 10K future in Texas when I entered my housing for the week. It was around 8 or 9 p.m. when my mother called me. I think a part of me is still in that room to this day, Sandgren wrote. In a recent interview with NY Sports Day, Rubin said he has been inspired by a photo blog called Humans of New York, a hugely popular website that collects stories and photos from people on the streets of the American city to show everyday life. Something Rubin is now bringing to the world of tennis. Besides winning a Grand Slam or getting a gold medal, a true dream of mine is to bring the excitement and awareness back to American tennis. He said. This guy, Brandon Stanton, created something called Humans of New York. It's kind of an everyday look into the life of a New Yorker and telling their story. I want to bring this to tennis and I want to use my reach to do so, and say, this is us. Behind the Racket currently has nearly 3,000 followers, as of the 13th of February 2019. Although the account is still in its early stages, it has already proven to be a hit with many on the tour. People have been incredibly receptive. The players have taken it to heart and are using it as an outlet to share their story, Rubin explained. I've been getting some incredible feedback and I'm really enjoying the process. Playing the tournament, I'll have some bigger guys posting, and I should be having Nick Kyrgios do one in the next few days. On the tour, Rubin played in the New York Open this week. He lost in the first round to 7th seed Jordan Thompson. You can keep up to date with Rubin's project by following https://www.instagram.com/behindtheracket/. Second part of Yuba Tennis interview with the Vice President of the German Tennis Federation. Croatia celebrating winning the 2018 Davis Cup. Photo by Johnny Chacha. 2 weeks ago marked the start of a new era in the world of men's professional tennis, with the revamped Davis Cup getting underway. In August 2018, the ITF voted in favor of making a series of controversial changes to the 119-year-old team competition. A move that divided the tennis community. In November, the finals of the tournament will be held over a weekend, hosted at one location in Madrid, removing the tradition of home and away ties. As a compromise, the governing body agreed for the February playoffs to be still held under the old system, but the matches would only be played in a best-of-3. Dirk Hordorf is the vice president of the German Tennis Federation, DTB, an association that has been against the Davis Cup changes from the beginning. Hordorf had previously named the European countries that voted for the changes, which has been backed by a 25-year, $3 billion investment from Cosmos, a company founded by Barcelona FC footballer Gerard Piqué. For sure, if you lose a vote, you want to make others responsible for this. To be honest, the ITF and Cosmos tried to campaign for the new Davis Cup system, and they made this very professionally, Hordorf told Yuba Tennis on Tuesday. Fortunately, some countries only believed in the promised money and voted against their tennis interest, others voted for the new system just because they thought the old system needed a reform, and some other voted without even understanding what they did. Under the new format, the ITF has stated that many tennis federations around the world will be better off, pointing out an increase in nations' income from the competition, and a new player prize fund of $20 million will be in place for the finals. My only hope is that the given promises of the ITF and Cosmos will be fulfilled and the whole Davis Cup will not be damaged in reason that Cosmos will reject after they are losing money, Hordorf reflected. The rankings. Another new development involved the ranking of the teams in the competition. Countries have been assigned a ranking based on their results over the past 4 years. Something that has infuriated the Polish Tennis Federation, PZT. Poland has been placed into World Group 3 under the new format. Even though they scored wins over Romania, Slovenia and Zimbabwe last year to qualify for Group 1 under the old system, the PZT has launched an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Supporting Poland, Luxembourg has sent a formal letter to the ITF. In it, the federation said they disagreed and was disappointed by the new system. The letter has also been signed by the national director of the Davis Cup, Marcus Stegman. Whilst the move have been welcomed, Hordorf points out Luxembourg's absence from the Davis Cup vote last year. Luxembourg should have attended the AGM meet in Orlando and vote against the Davis Cup reform, he said. The DTB had a clear position in Orlando. We voted against the Davis Cup reform and we still have the same point of view. We also made clear that we believe that the transition tour is badly planned and we are not in favor of this. But there was no vote about this, in fact that this is a management decision and they don't need the nation's vote to make this happen. He added, Poland's situation is not a unique one. Both Namibia and Kenya qualified for the Euro Africa Group 2 in 2018, but now they are not ranked high enough to play in that category. James Kanani, who is the chairman of Tennis Kenya, said his country has a disadvantage because they didn't play in the Davis Cup during 2015. Therefore they were unable to win any ranking points. Kenya, along with Poland, launched an appeal to the ITF Arbitration Committee in London, but were unsuccessful. The 2019 election in September. There are set to be presidential elections taking place at the ITF. The position has been held by David Haggerty since 2015. A longtime tennis industry executive, Haggerty had previously served as the chairman of Head USA and worked for the USTA. Under his presidency, the American has overseen the transformation of the Davis Cup and the implementation of the Transition Tour, both of which have been controversial. The last 4 years under Dave Haggerty was a disaster for tennis. But it's not only him who is responsible for this mess, Hordorf stated. At the end of last year, Ireland's Dave Miley has said he would challenge for the presidency. Miley had previously worked for the ITF for 25 years and was once in charge of overseeing the juniors, veterans and wheelchair activities of the organization. It is unclear as to how likely it would be that Haggerty will be re-elected for a second term, although Hordorf believes it is time for a new leadership to be implemented. I only can hope that the ITF gets a leadership which is serving the game and take care of the interest of their member nations, he said. What the ITF needs is a new leadership with clear vision, with management skills, with an understanding of how to unite the nations and to work together with the different governing organizations in tennis like WTA and ATP. The ITF election will take place during the annual AGM meeting in Lisbon, Portugal. The conference will take place between September 24 to 27. Part 1 of Yuba Tennis interview with Hordorf can be read here. Exclusive. I've been contacted by 200 Players tennis chief Hordorf on why the transition tour must change.